What if the Yankees' most important return didn't come from an established star, but from a newcomer carrying the weight of a silent reinvention? What if, in the midst of a season marked by injuries, uncertainty, and roster experimentation, the name no one expected became the spark for a new chapter in the Bronx? Because while the league's eyes were focused on Giancarlo Stanton's physical condition and Aaron Judge's consistency, a new storyline quietly began to take shape. Jazz Chisholm, sidelined since early May, may be set to return ahead of schedule. And if everything goes according to plan, it will happen in a way that surprises even the most seasoned veterans in the Yankees clubhouse. Impactful comebacks have always been part of the New York Yankees identity. From Lou Gehrig to Mariano Rivera, through Derek Jeter and Aaron Judge, the franchise has witnessed players across generations defy time and statistics to return at full strength when it mattered most. But with Chisholm, the story is different. He's not homegrown. He's not an established idol. And maybe that's why the urgency to prove he belongs is even greater. And that's exactly why you need to subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and be part of this community that follows the behind the scenes like no one else. Here, every detail becomes a storyline, every injury a dilemma, and every return is treated as what it really is, a turning point. The news, revealed exclusively by the New York Post, caught many by surprise. Chisholm, who is recovering from a right oblique injury, originally expected to be out for 4 to 6 weeks, said he's very close to returning. More than that, he stated that he plans to skip any rehab assignments in the minors, despite still playing
never been
a high
fan
level.
of that, he declared.
Represents a with the frankness of someone who knows his body, but also with the urgency of someone who understands the value of timing. Behind the scenes, that statement echoed with confidence, but also a note of caution. Yankees manager Aaron Boone was more measured. In an interview, he said that if necessary, the team would consider 1 or 2 games in the minors before Jazz makes his official return. It's not something we've discussed yet, Boone added, making it clear that the final decision is still pending. This kind of disagreement between a player and the coaching staff isn't uncommon. What makes this case special is the timing. The Yankees are in the middle of a season where, despite injuries, they keep winning. The roster is clicking. Names like Ben Rice, who have stepped up in the absence of regulars, are holding their own. But no one inside the organization ignores what Jazz could mean long-term. His aggressive style, his speed, his defensive versatility, everything about him resembles the type of player the Bronx hasn't seen in a while. A catalyst. And in a season where every win could mean playoff advantage, getting back a talent like that could be the difference between just competing and truly dominating. But here comes the most delicate point. Chisholm's recent history includes injuries in Miami, and on some of those occasions, he also tried to avoid long rehab periods. The question looming in the Yankees front office right now is simple, but carries massive implications. Is it worth repeating that path? From the player's point of view, an immediate return means confidence, rhythm, competitiveness. From the franchise's point of view, it means risk. And in May, with more than 4 months of regular season still ahead, the risk might not be worth it. The ideal scenario? A short rehab stint, with 2 or 3 games in the minors to make sure his body is ready for the MLB's intensity. But Chisholm's desire, and maybe the chance to ride the team's current momentum, could pressure the coaching staff to move up the timeline. And imagine the impact of that. With Jazz returning in 2 weeks, as he estimated, and Giancarlo Stanton also nearing full recovery, the Yankees have gained 2 major reinforcements right at the start of June, a critical month that could solidify their lead in the American League. The offensive rotation will become one of the most complete in the league, with Chisholm potentially joining Anthony Volpe, Juan Soto, Judge, and DJ LeMahieu. A rejuvenated infield, a dangerous lineup, a stronger defense, and above all, renewed energy in the clubhouse. But what happens if he returns too soon and isn't at 100%? If the injury flares up again, or if he lacks game rhythm? The Yankees have seen that before with other players, and they know a miscalculation can be costly. That's why this dilemma is so sensitive. An equation between impulse and patience. between instinct and precaution, and, as always, between what the player feels and what the team needs. Now I pass the ball to you. Should Jazz Chisholm return directly to Yankee Stadium, trusting his own recovery, or go through minor league rehab as a safety measure? Drop your opinion in the comments, because this is the kind of debate that builds the great narratives of the season. The calm before the storm. In baseball, it's deceptive, because while fans focus on an early return, the behind the scenes is boiling with phone calls, decisions, and one looming question. Is enough really enough? Jazz Chisholm is nearly back. A right oblique injury kept him off the field for weeks, but now, the Yankees shortstop is looking to defy the timeline. We're very close, he told the New York Post. And when a player with his energy, charisma, and offensive power says that, the eyes of the league turn toward the Bronx. But Chisholm was also honest. He doesn't like rehab. Never has. And while manager Aaron Boone expects at least 1 or 2 minor league games before full return, the player himself wants to come straight back. No detours. Ready to contribute to a team that's already starting to dream big. If he succeeds, his comeback could be the spark the Yankees need to turn the page on a month marked by absences and improvisation. The timing feels perfect. Ben Rice is surprising. The rotation is healthy. And Giancarlo Stanton is also close to returning. But as the team begins to recover, one uncomfortable truth remains. There's a gap on the field that neither time nor returns have managed to fill. Third base is a problem. Not just any problem, a structural one. Since the start of the season, it's been a revolving door. Youngsters Jorbit Vivas and Oswald Peraza have fought hard, but the pressure of playing the Yankee Stadium infield is relentless. They've got talent, sure, but they don't yet have the toughness, the veteran instinct, the presence on the field that a title run demands. DJ LeMahieu is a familiar name. Experience, despite still playing at a high level, but he's no longer the player he was 3 years ago. Injuries and where take their toll. And the Yankees know. You don't win a World Series by simply hoping a veteran rediscovers his old form. It was in this vacuum of certainty that one name emerged, mentioned almost casually, but set New York's rumor mill on fire. During a recent Pinstripe Territory segment, host Derek Lewandowski threw out a bold and intriguing guess. Josh Jung. Yes, that Josh Jung. Third baseman for the Texas Rangers. World Series champion. Impeccable defender. Offensive force with 23 home runs in a single season. And only 27 years old. He reminds me of a young Matt Chapman defensively, Lewandowski said. And I think there's still room for him to grow offensively. Picture that. Jung patrolling third base in New York. A complete player with youth and a winning mindset. Someone who knows what it's like to deliver in October. Who's felt the pressure, conquered it, and could do it again. But here's the obstacle. If he's all that, why would the Rangers trade him? That's where baseball shows its unpredictable face. The Texas Rangers are a franchise with depth in the infield. And while it may seem unthinkable that they'd part with a key piece of a recent title, everything depends on context, on needs, on opportunity. Sometimes all it takes is a right name. That Yankees prospect the Rangers have always dreamed of developing, and the game shifts entirely. And the Yankees have assets. They have youth. They have value. If Texas front office is eyeing a specific target, a deal that seems distant today could become possible with a single conversation. Now, imagine the impact. With Chisholm back, Stanton healthy, and Jung at third base, the Yankees transform. From threat to nightmare. For any opponent, you'd have Anthony Volpe commanding the infield with maturity. Gleyber, Torres, and Chisholm sharing responsibilities up the middle. Jung locking down third base. And Aaron Judge, Juan Soto, and Giancarlo Stanton covering the outfield. A trio bordering on absurd in talent and firepower. That's the kind of lineup that turns October into a minefield for the rest of the league. That keeps opposing managers and pitchers up at night. That gives the Yankees what they crave most. Control of their own destiny. But none of it is guaranteed. Chisholm's return hinges on prudence. not rushing back too soon and risking a costly setback. The potential trade for Jung depends on timing, behind-the-scenes savvy, boldness, and a bit of luck. What's clear is that Brian Cashman and company know 2025 can't be just another competitive year. The window is open, but it won't stay that way forever. Every decision now is surgical. Every roster move could be the difference between another early exit and a new banner flying atop Yankee Stadium. So now I turn it over to you, Yankees fans. Is it worth the risk? Would you trade away young talent for Josh Jung, knowing he might be the missing piece to complete a historic roster? Let us know in the comments. Subscribe to the channel and drop a like, because the next video could bring the name of the Yankees' true target. And it might not be Jung. Could a new name emerge before the trade deadline? Could a blockbuster deal be quietly taking shape? Stay tuned, because the real game has already begun.